Welcome to Coffee Meets Cloud, where three women in tech come together to share real stories about leadership, life, and everything in between. Join our hosts, Karami McCollum.
Oh, I love the voice note feature, y'all.
Cassandra Parker.
I'm hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit.
And Rachel Rogers.
We have the power to change it.
Your go-to source for candid conversations and unfiltered insights. So, grab your coffee, pull up a chair, and join the chaos.
Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Meets Cloud. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Tuesday. Glad you're here. Hello. Take number 5 on getting this episode started. How you doing?
I think it's wrangling these cats is what we're having a hard time with. We've clearly got the giggles. We're recording at 4 o'clock on a Friday, and we're all ready to just be done. Brains are fried.
And you know those moments where you're supposed to be serious, and then you start cracking up, and you can't stop cracking up because you're supposed to quit.
Exactly. Well, and I don't really know that it's 4 o'clock on a Friday. I feel like it's more like drink 30.
Sure. Preach
it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
I had no water today. I am dried up like a prune, and I'm about to go still have an IPA.
Well, I have water, but I also, so real talk. They have the new Alani lime slush, which Karami hated on, but whatever, Karami, they're delicious. They have them. They're good. They're really good. I like them. So I ordered some from Kroger, but I also ordered Strawberry Sunrise because it's another one of my favorites.
That's a good one.
It's a good one, right? So they were out of Strawberry Sunrise. So instead of replacing in my order with more lime slush or any other good flavor, they gave me the sherbet swirl, and I'd never had it before. Not a fan. So I've drank like 2 sips, and I'm about to throw it away. It's not good.
Well, I'm an Alani stan. Like Alani is that girl. I'm here for her. However, I think where I went wrong was giving myself the wrong expectations of the lime slush. I just imagined it would be tart a little bit, like a lot of lime things are. This was very sweet, like a key lime pie without the tart. I don't know how to describe it. Too sweet.
Oh, it's good. It tastes like a lime slushy or something. I don't know.
Is it like a cherry limeade?
Yeah.
But it's not cherry.
Lime.
Yeah. Except for only lime. It's like a limeade.
But even a limeade is more tart than this thing. This was like I don't know, like a smoothie with some lime in it. It wasn't tart at all. It's
like if you've drank the cotton candy one to me is the sweetest. If you've drank the cotton candy one, it reminds me of a lime cotton candy.
There you go.
It's sweet, but it's lime.
And I'm not trying to sell you on it, Rachel, because I was not a fan. I'm trying to let you know you will be disappointed.
Tried those Alani protein shakes?
No, but I need to because I need more protein in my life.
Kinley tried the cookies and cream one.
Did she like it?
She said it was okay.
Hold on a minute. Alani makes these?
Yeah. You can buy them where you buy like Boost or any of those protein shakes, and they have the different flavors. That's why when I saw it, I was like, huh.
Okay, apparently I'm not Alani's biggest fan because I had no idea this even existed.
The person who doesn't drink it knows.
Well, they also started out making like pre-workout powders and all that stuff. They weren't energy drinks at the beginning.
Oh, there you go.
They just got as I used to take the Alani pre-workout years ago.
Okay, there you go.
Were you a pre-workout taker because you worked out, or were you just a pre-workout taker? Because I know both types.
I was a pre-workout taker. Those things. What you just said before I worked out. Because I worked out at 4:30 every morning. So I drank it on my way to the gym, worked out.
Okay.
So I was actually using it for the intent in which it was intended.
It cracks me up the people who just take it but are not working out. Yeah.
Just like the way it makes them feel. I actually don't like pre-workout. I'll just go in there and get a big spoonful of honey with some salt. And
that'll do it too.
Do that. I don't like the taste of most pre-workouts.
Yeah. Ooh. I like more of the muscle recovery stuff. Like I think now that I'm a little bit older, I just do an energy drink like on the way to work out. And then I would just take the muscle recovery stuff like the BCAAs and stuff afterwards.
Yeah. Creatine. Now they have creatine gummies. You don't even have to drink it.
Yes.
Chef's kiss.
What else just reminds me I got to get my butt back in the gym.
I have good weeks and less than good weeks. I have some weeks where I'm really on it and I'm doing it consistently, and then I have weeks where I don't hold the boundary and I let my work stuff sneak in to when I need to be taking the break,
Yeah.
like this week.
It's hard to hold that boundary line. This week was better about it, but there's definitely weeks where there are no lines, and then there's weeks where you're able to establish really clear lines. I think it's more about recognizing what you're putting your body through in the moment you're putting it through it, and then recognizing when you need to take a step back and you need to take a sick day. Like, there is no championship medals, like, it drives me crazy in school that there's perfect attendance, and the goal is to not be sick, or to be sick but still be at school because you're not that sick, so you'd be fine. That shouldn't be a thing. Take the days to recover, to be able to be your best self. If you do not take time for yourself in health, you will be forced in sickness to take time for yourself.
Yep.
As Cassandra experienced this week, because I kept going thinking, I'm fine. I've just got maybe a stomach bug. It's no big deal. I can work still. I can do all the things. And then Wednesday, I went to bed my husband sent me to bed at like 7:30, and I did not wake up until almost 6 the next day. And then I took a sick day, and then I slept, and it was glorious. But I was forced to do that because I literally could not hold my eyes open. My body was like, no, you're done.
Yeah. But then I'm like, depending on the nature of the work that's going on, I find myself being burned out every week. And I'm like, I can't take a mental health day every week to like rest and catch up from the stress. So I don't know. I feel like being able to maintain my boundaries is dependent on several things, one of which the nature of the work going on that week, what it requires, the speed at which things are moving. Also, like how interested I am in the work. Are you okay?
Did you guys just see what happened?
No, we just
Just
lost
saw
you.
Go away.
Right. Okay. So I was trying to edit my mic setting because you asked, like, could you hear my mic? Right. So I was trying to edit the mic setting, and for whatever reason, editing my mic setting completely kicked me out. And then it was like, this recording has stopped. I was like, uh-oh. So I clicked the recording button, and you guys are still here. So yay, we can edit all
it's
that
still
out.
Okay, there you go. I'm glad it's still working.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't remember
What were
what I
you
was
saying now?
There's a bug crawling across my floor. It looks like a giant ant with wings.
Ooh. You
Is
know
it one
what?
of those red and black ones, the cow ants? Those are
It's definitely
awesome.
black. I can't tell from over here. Oh, what's really bothering me is if I don't get up and go get it, I'm not gonna know where it's at when we're done
Do
with
it.
this.
Kill
No,
it
no,
now.
it's
Do
fine.
it.
I
It's fine.
don't really do
It's
bugs
more
anyway.
like, look, at least it is the ant and not one of them flying cockroaches. I can't stand those.
Oh my
suckers.
God, like
I can feel it crawling down
like
my
a
back.
water roach.
Oh my gosh, I watched Will Trent the other day on. Do you watch that on ABC?
No.
I don't know. Anyway, okay. He had to go through this tunnel, and there were all these black spiders all over the place. And both Kinley and I were like, nope, we would not be going in there. We would not hard opt out. Like, he turned the light on and they were everywhere. I was like, that is my nightmare. That is my nightmare.
Way that my soul
Burn
would leave
it
my
to
body.
the ground. Light a match and walk away. Those are the only options.
Exactly. Or tannerite. Or
Tannerite.
Tannerite would be fun.
Peanut butter jar, and when you shoot it, it like makes a lot of noise.
You got to have the right amount of tannerite. Too much tannerite, you might do some bad damage, but just enough tannerite, you'd be fine. If you have not experienced tannerite,
you need to, because it's a good time.
Y'all are really having a good time.
If you like to shoot things and go boom, that's what tannerite for. It's the boom.
Have you never done tannerite, Jeremy?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
My goodness.
Satisfying.
Okay, like when they'll do they do like gender reveals, right?
Yeah.
Except you shoot the gun at a thing and then it like blows the smoke. That's tannerite. And it's colored tannerite, right? When you do it
just
that way.
the right amount of tannerite.
Yeah.
To
too much tannerite is like dynamite.
Oh, okay.
There's definitely a sliding scale.
Ignites it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I think it's
If
one of
you
those,
watch,
like, the way y'all are picturing it and thinking about it happening, I think it's one of those you gotta be there kind of things.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'm like,
or
It's not enjoyable to
if you-
hear about it.
no, if you've seen the new Marshalls episode that came on in the first episode, Casey Dunton takes them out in the woods and they attach
don't
things
tell me,
to
don't tell
the
me, don't tell me,
tree.
because I haven't seen it
No,
yet.
no. They
This is
attach
not a
things. This
spoiler.
doesn't tell you anything. They attach things to the tree and they shoot at them, and that's what knocks the tree over. That's tannerite. They were strapping tannerite to the trees.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll send you YouTube links.
Okay, cool.
And this concludes today's Tannerite Corner.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Look, we could be sponsored by Tannerite. You guys want to be sponsored by Alani? I
I'm
want to be
just like,
sponsored
how
by
many times have
Tannerite.
we said Tannerite now in these last
So
5
many.
minutes? Good
It's
Lord.
so
Jamie
much fun.
Rogers would be so proud.
Exactly. It's also a drinking game. If you weren't playing along, feel free to rewind, and you'll be drunk in like 2 seconds.
So what else is new with you guys?
Oh, jeez. No one's even noticed my new glasses.
I like those. They fit to
See-
your face even better than I thought they were going to.
Thank you.
Because we picked them.
That's true.
I know.
It,
I know.
You know.
But nobody's noticed them all day. Not a single person said a
There you
word
go.
about them.
Okay,
I'm like,
listen,
they must
I'm gonna
kinda
put-
look like my old ones.
I was going to say, I'm going to try to
No.
defend people just a little bit here. It's not that they look like your old ones, but I think you are known for changing your glasses
I do.
fairly regularly.
I do.
So I don't know that people would clock that this one wasn't already in rotation. Does that make sense?
That's true. And I do have a pair of green ones in my cart that I probably will
There
also
you go.
purchase. I bet people will
also-
notice those.
Probably
Yeah.
because they're loud and proud.
Green.
But
Mhm.
I think too, these just frame your face correctly. Like they're not obtrusive.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just like you must have had them all along because they look like they belong.
I've never had a pair of wire frame glasses. I've always gone with acrylic frame glasses. So this will be interesting. We'll see.
I
To be
want
continued.
some like that, but a different shape.
Mhm.
I'm going to get some. I just
Those
haven't-
round ones that we tried on at the Warby Parker, they look really good on you.
I liked them a lot. I just haven't. I still have the picture in my phone. I just haven't
all that
ordered them.
matters.
I think I have to go get a whole new prescription because it's been so long since I went that they're not going to accept my old prescription.
I went to the doctor Monday. I got my prescription. I didn't find anything in store I like, but by the way, don't buy them there. They're so much more expensive. You can buy them
Right.
online cheaper.
Mhm.
And on glasses.com, our insurance is taken on glasses.com. So I got to use my insurance there and I ended up with these and I have all the things, progressives, and because I'm old. And my glasses were like $300.
Dang.
Not bad. Not bad. And they're
Well, and you
great.
got them super fast.
Yeah, I ordered
that's
Monday
more
and got them
impressive.
2 days.
Right. Right.
That's not normal with like other places. Like
Yeah.
even with
No.
the store, you'll be like, what, 2-3 weeks before you get your glasses?
Oh, 100%. And it's going to be like 3 times more expensive
Mm-hmm.
because they can, because you're a captive audience.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I am finally on the other side of this chemical peel.
I was gonna say your face doesn't look as scaly, even when I talked to you earlier today. Like it doesn't look maybe a
I've
little
got-
red around your nose, but other than that,
I've got one little patch left beside my nose, but I think I did it to myself because when I first started peeling, but did something, and so it's just taking that spot longer to heal, but everything else is gone. I'm supposed to do 2 more of these spread out like 4 to 6 weeks apart. Ugh, I don't know. I mean, now at least I know what to expect. I'm
but if
interested
it
to see.
works, it's worth
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested. I mean, they were like, you're not going to get the full results off of one. It's not like you're doing a CO2 laser to your face,
Oh, but have you watched those videos
of the
Like-
CO2 lasers.
where the whole face just like dead skin just comes off in one big chunk, but their skin underneath is fantastic.
Pass,
I'm obsessed.
pass.
There's no way. The
pass.
pain. I watched a lady that was talking about the pain levels, and she was like,
Mhm.
day 1, it's not that bad. And then she's like, day 2, I'm like,
Yeah.
nope,
Mm-mm.
nope, I'm out. It's
I
too much
can't do
pain
it.
Negative
for me.
Ghost Rider.
I'll just be old
Well-
and haggard. It's fine.
Speaking of bad things, Chuck Norris died today.
I know. It's so sad. He was such a part of like my growing up years. Like Walker, Texas Ranger.
I know.
R.I.P. R.I.P.
I
R.I.P.
know.
Chuck Norris. Did you know that Chuck Norris actually died 20 years ago, but the Grim Reaper just got the guts to tell him today?
Big facts. Big facts.
I will miss a Chuck Norris joke. They were so good, and I think he would
Sure.
appreciate them.
I
from previous
distinctly
ones.
remember that one year in high school or middle school, whatever it was, where the Chuck Norris jokes they were the thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody was just walking around with the newest, the earth
Yeah.
doesn't revolve around the sun. It
It
revolves around
revolves
Chuck.
around Chuck
Yeah.
Norris. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When I saw that he was hospitalized yesterday, because they said he was hospitalized in Hawaii, I was like, "Ew."
I know.
But,
And he was
yeah.
86. I think they said 86.
Mhm.
I mean, he lived a
Yeah.
good long life. He was very healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, he
He
was
did.
selling those workout machines, whatever they were called, like the Total Gym or whatever.
Bowflex.
Bowflex.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was selling those online like 5-10 years ago. And he's
Yeah.
in his 70s. And he still looked great, by the way.
I know. We can all aspire to live the workout life that Chuck Norris lived.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I will never get there, but God
Did
bless
y'all see where The Bachelorette got canceled?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't
Scandalizing.
watch The Bachelorette. I didn't watch the show that
Me
the chicken
either.
poo came from, but
No.
the tea around this is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like they've done all this work
Right.
and all this production for at least the first episode.
No,
And then
it's all done. So by the
all the
time
Well,
they
episodes,
they recorded it
Yeah.
all, but I don't think
all
they've
of
done
it's recorded.
post-production on the rest of the episodes yet. But still, I mean,
They
even
were
like all the
doing
traveling and all the everything, it's all been
Well,
filmed.
it's all been filmed. It was all being advertised because I think it was supposed to start releasing next
Sunday.
week.
This
Yeah,
Sunday.
because on
Yep.
my Will Trent episode, Back to Will Trent, there was still an advertisement for it, which would have been Monday night. There was an advertisement for it that was releasing this week. So yeah, it's like done, but now it's not going to air.
But what makes me go, why did they not? They already knew this, right? She's been convicted or whatever. Like this whole thing is water under the bridge. The only reason it got canceled is because TMZ released the video of what happened between her and her husband and how the
And there was
or
just a
whatever hit
ton
their
of
kid.
backlash.
And everyone was like, no, we don't want this lady to be the bachelorette. But you knew that when you signed the contract with her. So, I mean, I don't know. I think they should have not done it. I mean, quite frankly,
maybe they sort of did like I don't know if I'd call it a cost analysis, but if they continued on with the project and then didn't get the ratings they wanted because people weren't tuning in, maybe it was one of those things where like, let's stop the bleeding now versus continue to pour money into this and not get what we need. And then there we are, we're out that much more money from the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
But I think they did it for sensationalism.
That
They
too.
probably did it saying like, oh, this will get us higher ratings because people will be interested in this person if that breaks, because everything's already done. I mean, she's already picked whoever she was going to pick. You just don't know who she picked, right? But I think the Bachelor and Bachelorette lately, from my understanding, has been like a repeat. It's been like a fan favorite reject who didn't get picked from the Bachelor becomes the Bachelorette, and then whoever didn't get picked on the Bachelorette becomes the Bachelor. So she's already been on the Bachelor and didn't get picked.
Right.
And then became the Bachelorette. So this is like, it's just all crazy.
Then what's going to happen now? There is no Bachelor to pick because there has been no season televised. So dun dun dun.
Because they go with the
don't know who the fan favorite is.
They're going to come out and they're going to be like, be the next Bachelor. We're going to do a contest of all the people in America.
I thought the thing was funny, though, was that they were doing on HGTV, they're doing a season of remodeling the Bachelor Bachelorette house on HGTV. And so they're going room by room and it's a competition with some former contestants. It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
Way more interesting than the Bachelor and Bachelorette.
I've never subscribed to that TV. I've not watched one episode. Could absolutely care less about
but
it.
But if we think our jobs are stressful or consequential, imagine being the executive or the set of producers at ABC or Warner Brothers that is on the hook for.
I'm sure there's some CYA material in some emails somewhere that said, I'm telling you guys right now, this is a bad idea.
But somebody has to take the call. For every CYA, there's somebody on the receiving end of that CYA who ignored it. So somebody's got to go down.
I'm going to roll the dice and go with this chick. By the way,
Mhm.
she's not that attractive, but anyway, we could go down that, like, I always look at The Bachelor and The Bachelorette as, like, they should be the most, like, their personality should be awesome. They're, like, the most beautiful. I'm not talking even about physical beauty. They're, like, really
Like
attractive people.
Hannah. What was her last name?
Oh,
Loved
yes,
her.
loved her. Yes, I can't think of her last
I
name.
can't think of her last
But
name either, but
the
she was
last
good.
few I've been like,
I only ever watched Trista, who was the
oh, yeah,
original
they're still
Bachelorette.
married.
They're still married, and I thought that was beautiful.
Mhm.
And then I watched the first season of The Golden Bachelor, which I thought was really sweet.
I liked that concept.
Right. It was really sweet. I thought they did a good job of incorporating like their family lives and like all of that into it. But I don't really subscribe to that. That's just like what is the other one like Love Island or any of those? I'm like, no. No.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Or
happening.
what's the blind date one where you go and
Love is
Love is
Blind.
Blind.
Love is Blind. There you go.
I haven't watched it either. I've watched none of these shows.
I don't either.
Give me
I
a
don't either.
good Bridgerton. I need something with some series. Like His and Hers was really good. Like all those things with
You
something. I need
you're
something.
just like give me some Hallmark and I'll be fine.
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
like stuff with plot and, I like
Yeah.
mysteries.
You're
and-
a variety person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Matlock's
Mm.
great. Love Matlock.
Love Matlock.
See?
Love
It
Matlock.
doesn't have to be all puppies and kittens and romance. I love me some Matlock.
Matlock's my favorite.
Well, on that note, I don't pivot it. I mean, I pivot, but I don't have segues anymore. That is a thing of the past. The creative,
We just take hard rights. It's fine.
yeah, we just take hard rights because we take so many hard lefts that we're left with no choice but to just
There's no circle here. It's a
stop
hard
and
left
take
or a hard right.
Yeah.
We're at the fork in the road.
We're at the
Yeah.
fork in the road. So throughout the week, I'll be jotting things down on my notepad. So there is a topic I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I want to start the topic off a little bit differently because I can see where this topic could get real whiny real fast. And we're not going to do that.
Nope.
And I'm talking about myself. So y'all keep me in check here. Okay. So there's this narrative going around and I've been seeing it because I have a lot of millennial content on my TikTok. And I agree with this sentiment. I think it's true, but not necessarily in the way that most people usually mean it. Millennials were lied to. That is the concept. Millennials were lied to. So now what do we do, right? I don't think we were lied to maliciously, but I think we were trained for a version of the world that really no longer exists. And nobody updated the playbook. There was no bridging the gap there. We just kind of like skipped over it, So the things, what I'd like to dig into today around this topic are what were we taught that doesn't actually work for anybody? What are we still operating from some of those outdated beliefs? And what do we do now? What do we replace them with now that we've discovered they're not actually true? Ready?
Yes.
Y'all know it's true.
It is true. I think thinking about it in that lens, because we're not going whiny to your point. Like I could whine about all the things we were told that
We can express it. We just won't whine.
Well, like let's
Because
just
millennials don't whine.
Take
pull our britches up and go.
And just keep going with it. Like take one that my math teacher used to always tell me, you won't always have a calculator in your pocket. Incorrect statements. I always have a calculator wherever I go. So there's that. But she didn't know at the time that I would have a phone that had all those capabilities everywhere I go.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? Nobody knew how, I mean, this was like leaps and bounds of technology over a very short period of time, going from typewriters to computers to bag phones to cell phones to iPads to all the things. Nobody knew that, right? I remember in the typing class, right? It was always a thing of, you can't ever be, really prepared for when you're going to have to go backspace on a typewriter. And you always need to know how to do that. I'm like, that doesn't exist anymore.
That's true. What about in this vein, Jeremy, that you're thinking of? What about the lie that we were told of. It's fine to take out student loans because you'll definitely get a job
Oh
making enough
my
money to
gosh.
pay back your student loans quickly.
Have you seen where people have been paying the minimums on their student loans and they owe more now
Mhm.
after paying $10,000 than they did when the loan started?
Mhm.
How is
Yes.
that legal?
It shouldn't be. Someone needs to run on student loan reform, and I will vote for
But
them because
I
ooh,
remember well, it wasn't called reform, and maybe that's where they went wrong, but I know somebody ran really big on student loan forgiveness,
forgiveness,
and people were
which is
just up in arms over this whole fairness concept of like, "Well, I paid mine and I did the right
right.
thing." I can see both sides of it, and I don't want this to turn political, but yeah, I don't know if there's a perfect solution to that, but that is crazy.
Well, I think too, the other thing about student loans is some professions you will never make enough money to pay off your student loans. Like a teacher.
A
A
teacher.
teacher will never make enough money to pay off their student loans if they actually need to live. If all you need to do is take your teacher salary and pay off your student loans, cool.
Yep.
But if you need to do anything else, you can't, right? And
Right.
Yep.
it's I think education, as we talked about, I feel so many times, right, really needs help in and of itself, and how we pay our teachers, and how we make sure that there's good compensation and that students have all fair chances, because
Mhm.
also people didn't go to college because they couldn't even afford the student loan. And I'm glad to see the economy starting to reverse of like, hey, going to college doesn't mean, like, sometimes a technical career is way more beneficial to you and you will make more than, all the money you're going to spend in college. But
Mhm.
I think that's been an interesting one to really watch out. I think the fact that Y2K didn't happen
I
has,
remember everybody was shook.
Oh yeah.
yeah. No,
We
I mean,
woke up
look,
and we're like,
We're
yeah,
still
computers
here.
didn't
The grid
explode.
is
We're
still up.
right, right. I also,
I graduated high school that year. That was fun.
yeah, I also had a firm belief, and you can laugh at me now, that like we were very quickly going to be in the Jetsons age by the time I became an adult. And I'm really
Mhm.
upset that we're not. I mean, we're kind of sort of there. I mean, we got Teslas now, right?
You
They
almost have a
drive
Rosie.
themselves. Almost have a Rosie. And I'm going to tell you, my life is going to be a lot different when I got me a Rosie, right? But that Rosie's got to be really affordable, because right now, Elon Musk's robots, no, thank you.
And for you children
But
out there that are listening that don't know what the Jetsons are, please go back and look at good cartoons
yes.
on YouTube because they were the best. I
Yes.
loved the Jetsons.
See, I was talking about that the other day, of like the notion of the fact that you used to wake up on Saturday morning to watch cartoons because they were the only time they played. You didn't have a DVR. You couldn't just watch it when you wanted. That was like crazy to think about. You always watched TGI Friday, because if you missed it, then you missed it. And then on
Nope.
Monday, everybody was talking about it. You didn't know what happened. What happened
Yep.
to Topanga and Corey? Like, I need
Exactly. I
to
was
know.
sitting in my chair waiting on TGIF to start, or getting up in the morning to make sure I did not miss Saturday morning cartoons. Kids
Exactly.
these days are spoiled. They'll never know the joy of your movie being in stock at a Blockbuster.
Mhm.
Just
Or
won't know.
just getting to go pick them out on a Friday. Like, there
Right.
was
Like,
just
that was
something.
fun. And
Yeah.
popcorn, candy.
Or the fact that TV went off at night, that
Yeah.
it actually cut off.
Mhm. At a certain time,
And
it was just
yeah. Mhm.
Yep, there you go.
you'd hear the national anthem played, and then nope. No
Okay,
more
that was
TV.
before my time, you old ladies.
Now, I was
Hey,
really
hey,
young.
hey,
I was
hey.
really
I do
young
not
when that
remember a national
Hey.
anthem and then all broadcasts
You were
suspending.
already in bed. That's what the
You were
thing
already
was.
in
Maybe
You were a
that's
good
it.
kid.
We'll call
That's
it
what we're
that. There
going
we go.
with. Mhm.
Okay, so I want to throw a few out there and get your reactions if you don't mind, because I think some of these are some big ones. One lie number one: work hard and you'll be rewarded.
lies.
I was gonna say, do we actually believe this is true?
No.
I
Work
mean,
hard and you'll get more work.
well, not only that, but like, is that statement accurate, or is it more about visibility,
It's not
strategy,
into
leverage? It's not
it's
about your effort anymore. It's about
your
your
perception.
the
It's
perception of
the
your effort,
perception of your effort. It's
the
not the
perception of
actual
your
effort
impact.
behind it. And the
Mhm.
perception of your impact.
It also depends on who's in charge.
And that's true too. That
I
is true
think
too.
I've seen a lot of women in their careers struggle because they've worked harder, they're smarter, they're more strategic, they've done more to the bottom line. But depending on who's in charge and depending on who likes listening to what types of people, they get continuously passed up. I think that we're getting better about that, but the work harder, I think work harder was applicable when it was a blue collar system, right? When you were like pushing a broom. Well, pushing a broom faster and harder is a way to move up than the person who's not pushing the broom faster and harder. But then when work went digitally, I think that's when all of a sudden the harder didn't equate. It didn't relate the same way.
I agree.
Yeah, what's rewarded has definitely shifted.
Yep.
All right, lie number 2. Follow your passion.
Passion don't pay all the time.
And that messed a lot of people up. I mean, it kind of
It
ties
did.
back to what Rachel was just saying about taking out student loans for an education for a type of job that is never going to have the income you need to even make the education make sense. So it's like, is passion, is it, I don't think you should follow your passion to the end of the earth. I think passion is something you should start with.
100%.
Right.
Agree with you.
And some people, I think, have a passion right off the bat. They find that very early. And then I think some people, you end up developing a passion for things you're good at. And I think that's the better way to land in a passion sometimes, because I think you're going to see more come from it that way than if you're trying to chase down something that maybe just isn't meant. It's not for you. It's just not meant for you.
We have that conversation a lot lately because we're talking about colleges, right? And it's crazy to me to still think that at 18 years old, you're supposed to know what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Right.
You just became an adult, right? Let
Yeah.
alone anything else. But the notion of keep your passion as your hobby, and if you can make money off of it, great.
Right.
But then find something that you can find a way to be happy at.
Yeah.
Right?
Something
And
that you
maybe
can be passionate about eventually that you can also make money from.
Or not even passionate about, right? But like the fact that you can go to work with a group of people you like. If you're happy at work, that's half the battle. You spend more time there than you do at home. So you don't necessarily have to be passionate about it. Just find a way to be happy. Find a way that whatever career you pick, you can be happy in, and then keep your passion as your hobby. And try to do both, because there's no saying you can't, right?
Well, and I remember when I was going through high school, and it is maybe the same, I'm not sure, you may know better, Rachel, with Kinley's age, but I just remember the way everybody, like the way all the adults around me talked about it. I just envisioned there was supposed to be this light bulb moment where at some point in your junior and senior year, you just go, ping, that is what I meant to do. That is what I meant to learn more about. That is my passion. And again, like I said, I think that probably exists for some people because they happen to dabble in something through some courses or whatever where they really fell in love with it. But for a lot of people, I think that's what made me feel very lost. I don't think there's anything wrong with just going, okay, I have a proven ability to do A
To
and
do
B,
X. Right.
and I need to learn a living. So I'm going to start out doing A and B because I know I can succeed in those things. Do that for a little bit. Do you enjoy any of that? Do you hate going to work? I mean, where does that leave you? Or did that A and B expose you to C, where you're like, hey, now that's cool. I'm going to learn a little bit more about C. I mean, I think it can evolve, but to just think you're just supposed to have a passion and follow it, like I said, to the end of the earth, I just don't think that's viable.
Yeah.
Well, I think the other challenge too is the number of entry-level jobs that are now available, right? Whether you go to college or you don't go to college, it's actually easier to get a technical job or a skilled labor job than it is to get anything you're going to go to college for. Because to go to college, you've got 15 other people applying for that same thing. So I think it's also changed when you need to figure out what you want to do, right? Like a lot of times it'd be like, oh, take the 4 years in college, you'll figure it out, right?
You'll figure it out. Or
But
you won't.
now it's the reverse, right? Of there's all those people who went 4 years in college fighting for the 10 jobs that exist, right? That means that the 90 others don't get a job out of 100. So it's definitely interesting. And the one thing I will say, I think it depends on the school you go to now. So some schools, like Kinley School, for example, have gotten a lot of better about what your junior and senior years look like. So there's a lot more flexibility for you to take courses you're interested
You
in and
want.
try
Try
different things, right?
Right.
Versus like the school I went to growing up, there was no optionality. It was the only optionality was Spanish or French. That was it. Everything else was just very rigorous because it was a small school. They didn't have the structure and the teachers.
Unlimited things.
Right.
Right.
And so I think that also like puts you at a disadvantage of when you're trying to figure out what you want to do, depending on the size of your school, it may not be realistic.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, here's an idea. How about we learn how to file taxes instead of trigonometry? You know,
Right?
just hear me out, right?
Dude, don't
Teach
start
me
me
how
about
to budget.
taxes.
Teach
If we
me
want
how
to be
balance a
practical.
checkbook.
So those are actually courses that are in Kinley School.
Thank
That's
God.
great.
As
I'm
a
glad that I learned.
freshman, as a freshman and in middle school, they teach you basic, like they teach you about a credit score. They're teaching kids
Credit
about
card
those things.
management.
Yep. They are teaching them about those things. But I also, if you're trying to teach your kid those things, I recommend Greenlight if you haven't looked into
100%.
it. It's a great way to get your kids investing and savings and all the things. And I know Karamie's trying to not get us on tangents, so I'm gonna shut
No,
up
it's
now.
fine. No, it's fine. I was just, as I was listening to you, I was thinking like, yeah, I tried that with Rowan and I have the debit card and everything, but he lost interest very quickly.
He's a
So
little young
he's
for it.
not quite old enough yet. Yeah.
But just wait. Like my nieces, the teenagers, if they come babysit, I can just send Greenlight money and they spend it, online and do their shopping. And
That's
hey, I
awesome.
want to buy this new thing. You got anything I can do? I'm like, yeah, I really could use a date
Yeah.
night. So come on,
Eh,
watch the kid.
And they set savings goals, and it's really good.
It's good.
It
But
is a
yeah,
cool
he's
app.
probably a little young. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just doesn't stick with anything very long. He's very like instant gratification stuff. Like, you mean I have to do these chores all week
He's
for
a
my
boy.
money to deposit on Sunday? Like, give me a break. Yeah.
He's a boy.
Yeah, he's a boy. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, lie number 3. This is the last one I had on my list.
Okay.
And I don't remember where this comes from. Like, I don't remember there being like a tagline floating around, but there was definitely this sentiment, and it was this: you can have it all. If you want it, you can have it all. If you just set your mind to it, you can have it all.
And that's a lie for sure. But
Oh.
we've kind of talked about this before because we've talked about it from the perspective of as a female, as a working mom. If you are killing it in one place, you are losing in somewhere. Like you cannot have it all. You cannot be killing it at work and also killing it at home and then not taking care of yourself. I mean, something has to suffer in the circle for you to be killing it in one place or the other. You can do pretty good in a lot of things, but you can't be killing it over here and having every single thing. You just can't. It's not possible.
Yep.
Well, I think too, at the time in which you got to remember how much things shifted while we were growing up, right? I think at the time in which some of those statements were made, right, the American dream looked very different.
Very.
Oh, yeah.
It was very blue collar. It was very, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I love blue collar professions. I think it's fantastic. I love the tactile nature of it. But I think when you look at something like that, it's very different than a dream of having it all when the world is completely different than when that statement was made. The aspirations people had, the amount of money people expected to make were all very different than what it is today. I mean, $100,000 back then when we were growing up went a lot further than $100,000 today, right?
Let's be clear.
Night and
I
day.
don't know how anyone just getting out of college and starting their first job can afford even an apartment in the economy in
Right.
which we live, along with all of their other bills, especially when you think about having to pay back student loans and all those things. Like they're not going to make enough money coming out of college to afford a basic living. So many of them are living with their parents because they have to. There's
But
no
that's
world in which
also-
they can move out.
That's also, though, why I think we've done them a disservice, because they come to their first job expecting 120 grand.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude,
no,
that's not what entry level starts at. And that shock, I remember going through that shock. I remember coming out of college, and my first job, I got offered $40,000 to start as my salary. And I remember calling my dad going, can you live off of this? Because I had no idea. Like, I was like, I don't know a lot of how much things cost. I'm assuming maybe it's okay,
And
but who knows?
time out. Parents didn't discuss those sorts of things with their children.
Right.
Like,
That's
not
true.
Right.
didn't discuss money, but didn't discuss their money. So
Their
here
money.
you
Right.
are. You're a child who's been raised in this household
Mhm.
with these routines and this lifestyle around you, but you have zero context for what it takes to create
to
what's
maintain
around
this
you.
lifestyle.
Right. So what is that balance between not sharing things that are really none of your kids' business? Because those are things I wouldn't even necessarily tell another adult in my family, let alone my
Well,
child.
and you
I think
don't want to cause them to think about things in terms of money all the time, right? Like you don't want them to always say, because a lot of stuff in my family have happened drama, but my niece would be very conscientious whenever we would take her out to eat or something, and she would see the bill and she would be like, this costs $60. And we're like, don't worry about it. It's fine. If we didn't
I
have
wouldn't be
$60,
doing
we
it.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be doing it. Right. But
exactly.
she was very worried about how
Yeah, you don't want to do
much
that.
things cost. You don't want to do that.
But see, that's where we've been working with Kinley as she's approaching leaving the house, right? Of like, hey, we'll sit down and I'm like, okay, let's pay bills, right? Let's look at how much electricity costs. Let's look at how much water costs. Let's look at how
good.
much AT&T bill costs, right? Like all of those things to get a sense of, you think you're about to go earn $1 bajillion. Well, that's great, but you spend half of your $1 bajillion on bills just to live, let alone to do anything you think you want to do, right?
These days, it might be 3/4 of your $1 bajillion it takes just to
Right.
live.
Right.
Yep.
And I think those are the conversations, right, that you need to have with your kids. And you need to be showing them as they get to that age of about to leave of like, this is what a budget looks like. Like, do you understand? And it's not talking to them about how much you make. It's not saying like any of those things. It's like, understand household bills, because that's something I didn't have a concept of. I didn't have a concept of like getting an apartment and paying my car insurance and does $40,000 cover that? Don't know, right?
Yeah.
I
And
distinctly remember a
yeah.
conversation when Jared moved out of, where do I buy soap? I mean, because literally it just appeared in the shower when he lived here, right? Like I just took care of it, and it like he was like, so where's the best place to get soap? Like Walmart? And I'm like, yeah. But you don't even think about the
You-
little things, like
Yeah.
those just showed up before you've got a budget for all that.
Well, that was
You have
that
to
was
take
my
your kids with
friend.
you when they get to a certain
Right.
age. You have to have them participate in the activities. Rowan already does his own laundry. I mean, not every single time, because sometimes Jessica's like, I just need to get this done. She's just trying to catch up on laundry. But at least half the time, if not more, she's like, hey, go get your hamper and do your laundry. Now he's 8, so he knows how to work the machines and everything. But occasionally there'll still need to be like a prompting of like, did you get your clothes out of the wash and put them in the dryer? Oh no, I need to go do that. I mean, but he also has ADHD, so he forgets. And he's got to literally use a stool because we have top loader
Yeah.
washing machine. But I'm like, there is no reason on God's green earth, if you can go up there and do all that madness you do on those video games and figure out all that hacky stuff you do, you have got the brain to be able to move clothes between machines and press the buttons. Give me a break.
Absolutely. When the boys moved in with us, when we got married, they were 5 and 8, and immediately I was like, this is a washing machine. This is how you do your own laundry. I
Yep.
don't do your laundry. I don't do my husband's laundry. I only do my laundry, Liam's laundry. Like,
Yep.
that's just how it is at our house. And when Liam gets to be about 7 or 8, he's going to be doing the same thing.
Now, does he fold it the way we would fold it? No.
No, absolutely
But does
not.
that
But
matter?
does it matter?
Absolutely
No.
not. It's
No.
going in the drawer. It's going to look the same when he puts it on. And even if it
Mhm.
doesn't look the same when he puts it on, he's the one wearing it. So if
Exactly.
at some point he
Exactly.
doesn't like what's happening with his clothes, he'll change the way he
At-
operates.
At my house, we teach about wrinkle release and how the dryer fixes all wrinkles.
But I saw, another really cool one I saw, which Rowan is not old enough to do yet. You may have already done this with Kinley, Rachel, about the whole budgeting thing and all that. Take your kid, give them a certain amount of money, take them to the grocery store. Well, before you even take them to the grocery store, tell them, hey, it's your job to plan 2 meals for the week. And here's your budget. And then you go so far as to take them to the grocery store, and you don't interfere. You're just there if they have questions, but you're letting them run it. And they should have planned for what they were going to get. Then they have to go find it in the store, because it's important to not be intimidated or uncomfortable at a grocery store. To your point, Cassandra, about knowing you get toothpaste at Walmart.
Right.
These things are here, and here's how you find them. Here's how you navigate the aisles. And then they come home and they cook said meals.
I like it.
And of course, you're there to supervise the whole time because they're not going to, the whole point is they're learning all that. They're not going to know it right off the bat. But after doing that several times, it like on the surface kind of sounds a little simple, but then when you think about how much they're learning in that one, even if you just did one meal, just in that one set of activities.
How much does it cost? Can you get more than one meal out of X?
How to make the most out of
vegetable.
my money and how to check out. I mean, simple things like I have young adults in my life who are intimidated about checking out at a store. Because they never did it. They just were never required to do it.
It's that teaching them to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Right? When you're a parent, you want to solve all the things. You want to make them okay, but you forget that at 18, they walk out that door and they don't come back every day.
You're crippling them.
And you forget to set them up for success. I think as much as we do for them education-wise and sports-wise and everything else, sometimes we miss the very, very basics.
We do. Yeah. And I think the younger, like, it's so much easier to impress younger people. So the more you can expose them to or let them do on their own at a younger age, the more it feels exciting to them and less like a chore.
Right.
You know, like if you're waiting until they're 16 and they've had it made and they've gotten to just prioritize
Why am I making
everything.
Dinner?
Yeah, now you've got me in here doing this and doing that. If you've already been incorporating them for 4 years or whatever, there's less friction there.
Yeah. We actually signed Kinley up when she was little for a chef class. So that she could learn knife skills and all of those basics, right? But then we didn't interfere. It was an hour a week that she had dedicated time with a group of little friends. And it started her very early on that journey of learning how to read a recipe, how to measure the ingredients. Because that's the other part about making something.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never had to measure things, a teaspoon
or
versus a
reading
tablespoon.
the instructions on the box, friend.
Right.
Don't look at me and ask me how to make this cake mix.
Exactly.
It is on the box and you know how to read.
But I mean, TSP versus TBS, like, I mean, there's
sure.
Right. Like that.
Oh, they'll trip you up. Big T versus little T. They'll get
But just the act, like, I think requiring them to read instructions for themselves and to ask you when they get stuck is teaching them how to be a self-starter, how to take initiative. If they're just looking at you to answer it every time they need an answer to something, like what's next? What? No, sir.
No,
sir.
You read.
Exactly.
Figure it out.
We did, again, because Rowan's young, so we have to be like choosy about what we do, but we went to Publix for lunch one day because they have sandwiches and sushi and all sorts of stuff.
Publix is awesome.
We were trying to think of something different. So we go and he was out of school that day. So we go and they have, like, I don't know if all Publix are this way, but at ours, there's this second story part where the tables and stuff are, and there's like a clear balcony so you can see over into the store and all the aisles and everything. That's where you go to eat when you get your stuff from downstairs. Nice. We needed to get dog food. And so Jessica and I sat there at the table and we're like, do you want to go get the dog food and pay for the dog food?
And we'll watch
and meet us at the door. Yeah. I want to get the dog. Okay. Well, just read the signs, at the top of the aisles, find the one that says dog food because you can read.
You know which one we get.
You know which one we get. As a reminder, this is the one we need. Go grab it, bring it to those checkout things you see right there. We'll do the self-checkout and make sure you're able to get checked out. He thought that was and I felt better about it because I could see him from where we were sitting, but he felt so cool being so, like, he's like 8 years old. Here he is walking through the store, going and shopping. Yeah.
He's got this bag of dog food. He checked out.
Adorable.
I love it. That's just like when Liam says, my address. He's like, he tells his address and he'll repeat it. I'm like, oh, it's so cute. You're so excited because you know where you live.
Yeah.
Well, on those adorable moments, it is that time to call it. Jeremy, wrap it up.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Are you a fellow millennial? Were you lied to? We'd love to hear from you. Tell us about the lies you've been told. How are you working on things with your kids? How are you teaching them to be independent? Let us know. Follow us on socials at Coffee Meets Cloud. Drop us a line. We have a website at coffeemeetscloud.com. We hope to see you next time. And until then, keep your coffee strong. See you ladies later.
And get you some Tannerite.